Whew. Okay. Hi guys. I made it. I had to get home and hurry up and feed the critters after they were all excited and crazy. Get my phone on the charger. Yay. But I made it. See if anybody pops on before we start diving in. And if you do pop on, please shoot me a message or type something in and let me know you're here. And hopefully I'll be able to see comments. Trying to take a breath here and I have to do it in my kitchen because that's the closest charger that I have right now. So I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. I see somebody's on, but I can't tell who it is. If so, pop a hello or something and that way I'll at least know if I've got comments or anything. Anyway, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes. Okay, let's see if I can move this like that. Still telling me it's charging, so that's good. Okay, it just says comments will appear here. Okay. Oh. Like I said, I see that we have one person on. Oh, it's Miss Carol. Hi, sweetie. And I see your comment. Beautiful. How are you doing? What time is it over there, hun? It's got to be, well, later, early morning. You guys are quite a few hours ahead of us. Oh, you should be in bed. Oh, come on now. Girl, you got to get some sleep sometime. I'm sure it's pretty late. All right. Says we got two on. Woohoo. And Miss Jody. Oh my God. I have both of our time travelers on. Woohoo. I miss you, Miss Jody. Very, very big much. Just so you know. I miss getting to chat with you. And I'm very excited for your new adventure. I'm just absolutely stoked and amazed, and I cannot wait to see it happen and watch you grow. I'm just so excited for you. Absolutely excited. So I don't want to wait for too long, and I at least have two of you on, so hey. It's great to see you on here, honey. Loki, I don't want to play with the toy. I know, Mama's been gone at work all day long. 1:34 in the morning. Yeah, see? Oh, I'm so sorry that he's in the hospital, honey. Well, I have a couple of things to do when I get done with the live, and lighting a candle is on the top of my list. So I will definitely do that. Next Saturday. Oh, that's exciting. That's very exciting. 1:34 in the morning. Freaking crazy goofball. That's killing me. I wake up long enough to go to the bathroom at 1:30 in the morning, and that's about it. Definitely not get online. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and start, ladies. And I do apologize that I was running a little bit late. I had an eye appointment, and this girl is going to have to wear not just reading glasses anymore. I have to wear all day glasses. One eye is nearsighted and the other one is farsighted. Okay, whatever. Guess that's what happens. Now, hold on. I got to move somebody out from under my feet. Loki, go. Go play. All right. So this one, we have a third person on. Yay. Hello. Hello. I'm in the middle of I guess this would be considered the middle of my Elements series. And today I want to go over water and the magical uses of water. Okay. So I guess I'm going to just dive right in while Loki's playing underneath my feet. Hello, Miss Angie. Nice to see you, honey. So like I said, this element today is water. Sorry, I'm scooting Loki away because as he's growling at me, because he seems to think he needs to be right under my feet. Anyway, so water. We can do, as we very well know, we can do magic with any of the elements, with all of the elements. There's air magic, fire, earth, and of course water, right? Today, we're going over water. Whether it be oceans, rivers, ponds, the moon, waterfalls, light rain, hurricanes, tsunamis. We get tsunamis here, right? Water, it extinguishes fire, floods the earth. It's so powerful. Let's stop for a sec, read Angie's comment. I'm in love with the magical power of water. It did me such a favor when it flooded my office sacred space. Right? We can be thankful for something like that. I'm sure at the moment when it happened, you thought, oh, what the flip, but turned out to be a good thing, right? Anyway. Oh, well, a little different when you ask for it to happen, huh? Anyway, water also, not only is it or can it be destructive, as we very well know, it also cleanses and purifies and connects us with the deepest part of ourselves, like us, right? We can use the element of water in ritual, spell work, and in our spiritual practice. It's an absolutely excellent elemental ingredient for workings that involve spirits of any kind. Does not matter. For example, you want to evoke spirits. Oh, sorry. Little Miss decides she wants to join us. Get gone, turkey. When you want to evoke spirits, you can pour water into a chalice, or, well, we like to call them chalices, a glass, a cup, a container of any kind, really. Doesn't specifically have to be a chalice. Okay? But that will act as a gateway between you and the spirit world. Angie says, I use it as a conduit for reaching the spiritual realm. See, there you go. And do my best work in the bathtub. I don't have a bathtub, so can't do it. I do have a hot tub, but not a bathtub. With many traditions, when one wants to work with saints or ancestors, a glass of water is placed at the working space. See? And I'm gonna kind of jump back into the bathtub idea there, or not idea, the bathtub, right? Even though I don't have a bathtub here at home, I still use my shower a lot. You don't have to have a bathtub. Shower, water. It's just absolutely amazing. Okay? So first off, I want everybody to keep in mind that water in general, as an element, it has some pretty specific connotations. It's associated with healing, cleansing, and purification, that's just for starters. Okay? In most traditions, it also corresponds to goddess magic and to the direction of the West when you start looking at the 4 classic elements and their retrospective or related directions, right? I see that Angie commented on here, I wish I had a hot tub. So I wanted one for years. I'm not allowed to have a bathtub. I'll just give you a little bit of tidbit about me. Water, I'm an earth sign, but water absolutely relaxes me. I have almost drowned numerous times taking a bath because it relaxes me so much. So my husband decided to finally get a hot tub. And it's only a little small one, a little 2-person hot tub, but I'm not allowed to be in it by myself. Either one of my grandkids or my kids or my husband, somebody has to be in the hot tub with me, or at least out there if I go in the hot tub, because once again, I'm going to relax so much that next thing you know, I'm underwater. I pass out. It relaxes me that much. So, yeah. So I don't get to use it that often because not everybody else wants to hang out when I want to get in the hot tub. Or I don't get a buddy to get in the hot tub with me. Angie, if you'd lived closer, we'd get in the hot tub all the time together. That's for absolute sure. Anyway. Hello, Miss Ellen. Good to see you popping on. Anyway, I was just saying, when you start looking at the 4 classical elements and all of their related directions. Yes, not allowed to be alone when I get in the hot tub. Anyway, with all of that being said, you can use different types of water from different areas, locations, because if you watched the Earth one, elements carry memories. Elements that are from certain locations always carry memories. And I use the word memories, the term memories kind of loosely. But where they can be collected from, where they have notoriously been collected from other practitioners throughout hundreds and hundreds of years, they carry those memories is kind of where I'm going with that. And yes, Angie, I know that you'd be right on over. I'd say, come on. Anyway, so those different types of water obviously can be collected for different things. Me, personally, I'm a little obsessive about collecting water from different places. I've got water from different oceans I've gone to, different lakes, different rivers, a puddle. If I have to go out with an eyedropper and get water because it's that small of a puddle from a storm, I'm going to go get it. Just saying. Anyway, all of these can be used for some type or most likely pretty specific spell work. So then I'm going to get into, so what kind of water should I use? Right? So these are my suggestions based on different locations or origin of the water. Okay? So we've got storm water. That's my first one. Gathering water during a storm to use in spells associated with increasing personal power. Sounds like a Southern Cal storm. Yeah, right. It's here and then it's gone. Yes, I do remember those storms. It's been years since I've been down Southern Cal, but I remember those storms. Anyway, storm water, personal power, energy, big changes, and even causing a little bit of chaos. Stormwater is amazing for those things. You get bonus points if there's a lot of thunder and lightning going on while you're collecting that storm water. Just more energy is in that water. Oh, the eyedropper trick. It works. It's great. You don't need a lot, literally. All you need is a drop or two of the water anyway. So if you could use an eyedropper to pick some up, get it in a jar, good to go. Yeah, I'm kind of a water hoarder. I am. I can't lie. I even have, because we like to go fishing, and we go fishing in different areas, and it's always deep sea fishing. And so I will purposely bring an empty bottle with me, and I will tie a string to it and drop it down when we get out, all the way out as far as we can go. I will drop it down, collect that water, cap it up, write it on it where I got it from, and it's coming home with me. Deep ocean water, amazing energy. Absolutely amazing. We always collect storm water if we're having a good thunderstorm. It's amazing energy. I got some during very, very nice. Blood moon eclipse. I have some. Mine, we didn't have a thunderstorm when it was going on, but I do have some. So much random water hoarded. Hey, water's amazing. Where was I? Oh, I was saying you get bonus points if there's a lot of thunder and lightning going on when you're collecting that water. The energy, crazy energy, high vibrational. Okay. Spells and rituals that have to do with emotional strength, confidence, charge, motivation, and force. Storm water is amazing for. It's known for strengthening spells. And it's great for curses. Hey, you know, we got to put those out there too, right? If need be. Okay, my second one, of course, one of my favorite ways to collect water, ocean water. One of the, I guess, most common uses for ocean water would be purification and cleansing. And I do use it also for cleansing, just like using dirt for cleansing, like I talked about in my last live. Oh, that was the storm that caused the flood. Ooh, yeah, that was a good one. But think about it. Ocean water, it's already got salt in it. What do we use salt for? So it's kind of like a given, right? It's powerful. It's wild. I mean, the ocean is absolutely wild. So are our storms, but the ocean is wild. So yeah, it's a great protector and carries great power and a great cleanser. You know what I mean? You can also use it to help protect against negative energies, just like we do with salt, right? My next sentence says, after all, it's full of salt. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit. And of course, salt is used as a protective item. Water from the ocean is great for cleansing and healing rituals. I like to use it for cleansing crystals. But, of course, we're going to give the, PSA here is please be careful with your crystals and any kind of water you're cleansing them in or with, okay? Not every crystal or stone can be cleansed in water. Some of them will dissolve and some of them will become poisonous. So please, for God's sakes, be careful. And then ocean water is also great for banishing spells. It's a good one to know. Of course, I'm going to give you the good and the maybe not so good. I do too. Ocean water is one of my favorite. Standing water. Okay, so a lot of times we don't think of standing water, right? Just, I've got a small bird bath outside in my front yard. I use it every now and then when I want to do water scrying under the full moon. But I also fill it all the time because we have deer that come up in our yard and they're thirsty. And then we have birds. But it's standing water. I don't change it out probably as often as I should. So it becomes standing water. There is a time, especially in the summer months, when it becomes vile and stagnant. Well, guess what? I'm going to collect that water. Because if you want to do a bit of binding, use it. And the water's not going anywhere anytime soon anyway, right? Unless you dump it out. You can bind someone by immersing a photo or puppet into that stagnant water. And I've done that. And then when I'm done with it, off it goes, right? Hey, sometimes it's not a bad idea to have a little bowl of raw water just hanging around. Almost collect some in a little pool of murky water at the old abandoned zoo today. Oh, you almost collected some. Ooh, that would have been some good water to hold on to. Anyway, okay, my next one, war water. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with war water. War water is usually something that you have to make, okay? But it is one of my favorite waters to make. And sometimes I'm a little sad that I don't have more of a call to use it because it's kind of fun to make sometimes. War water is water in which you've soaked or let, just thrown in a bunch and let them just sit there. Rusty nails, throw some graveyard dirt in there. Just anything murky, mucky, yucky, anything that you would think that you would want to use, you know, in darker magic, you know, binding, cursing, anything like that, right? You could even throw salt in there because sometimes salt, depending on what you're doing, sometimes salt works for that. There's literally a zillion different methods for making this. So whatever works for you when it comes to making war water. It's at the same time that you're making it, you're putting your intention into it. So it's going to be a strong, baneful water. It is fun to make too. Just saying. Anyway, it's snake season. I chose. Okay. Makes sense. I got you. Yes. Snake season. Let's stay away from that water. They're probably dying for it, and they probably need it more than you do anyway. So I'm glad you stayed safe. Spring or well water would be my next one. Well water is often tied to localized spirits. If you're fortunate enough to live near a natural spring or I wrote sacred well, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a sacred well, an old well. Gather some of that water, okay? In general, well or spring water is associated with localized deities or land spirits. Hi, little miss. She's purposely being a tease right now, especially to the dogs. Associated with your localized deities or land spirits. And it can be used in healing magic. If you're collecting water from a spring or well that doesn't have a particular spiritual connection, don't worry about that. You can still use it for blessing rituals and spells. Blessings, you know. So it's still a good water to have, even if it doesn't have associations. We have what we call oh gosh, now I'm drawing a blank. Well, they call it the water rock. And it's literally the next town over, and I work in that area also. And it's a rock that's in the middle of Main Street, not in the middle of the street, but in between two buildings, but literally in the middle of town. And it has natural water that comes up and out of the middle of it. That town is well known for a lot of spirits. So that's a great spot to go and get water from. So I like to go there and get water every now and then also. Like I said, I'm a water hoarder. I'm going to go get it when I'm running low. I'll go pop on over and get some. I have a trip to Hot Springs, Arizona. Oh, very nice. On my list to get some of the spring water from there. Yeah. A friend of mine is leaving for Sedona. Oh, sorry. Hot Springs, Arkansas. I read Arizona because there is a Hot Springs, Arizona also. But anyway, she's going to Sedona, Arizona. She's going up there on Monday. And she sent me a message asking if I needed anything. And I was like, yeah, are you going to such and such, an area over there? And she was like, heck yeah, of course I am. And I said, can you bring me back some water? It's very well known for its healing abilities, I guess would be the word I would use. So she'll be bringing me back some water from Sedona. I do like Sedona also. It's so magical there. Just gorgeous. I love it. My next one that I have, Artisan Well. Yes. Oh, that's going to be gorgeous. Eclipse water. That'd be my next one. The last time we had a solar eclipse, I put several jars of water out to gather up some of the chaotic solar energy. Sorry, one second. Knock it off. They're being brats. Anyway, and I found that there was quite a bit of power inside of that, in that water. And I wasn't sure how much it was going to hold, how high vibrational it was going to be, but yeah, it was up there. It was pretty good. Performed during an eclipse of the sun, basically the sun pack, right? They pack an extra magical punch. But since we don't have an eclipse that often, using water gathered during one is a pretty good alternative. My next one, river water. I don't get to get too much of this. I can get stream water. We don't have a lot of rivers per se. And, you know, rivers, they don't dry up. So that's why I say we have more springs than we have water that flows, but it does tend to dry up in the summer. So when I'm talking river water, I'm talking about a type of running water that does not dry up. Okay, so spells and rituals that have to do with moving on. And focusing your energy, needing to focus, breaking through hard or rough paths, and warding, you know. And lastly, river water is great for empowering your tools, your magical tools. So it's a good thing to use that. You know, you got to think of it this way. River water, it's gonna flow no matter what. It's gonna break through. So that's why we want to use them for this, because it's gonna break through those blocks. Right? Okay. Rainwater. Just your run-of-the-mill rainwater. A lot of times we don't think, you know, it's raining. It's not a full moon. It's not a blood moon. It's not an eclipse. It's not a new moon. It's not anything spectacular. But guess what? Rainwater literally has its own attributes. It has its own spells. It is actually very multi-purpose. Okay? It's great for growth and rebirth. I mean, think about it. What happens when we get even the littlest bit of rain when we're in the middle of a drought? So we got to think of it that way. It's great for spells where you want to keep gaining power over time. You water that dead grass just the littlest bit, and it's going to start growing, and it's going to start gaining momentum, and it's going, next thing you know, it's freaking 3 foot tall. So, well, hello, Miss Ronette. A little late, but no worries. I'm glad to see you on. Anyway, rainwater. No matter how minuscule we think that rainwater is, it can be used for so many things. And it's just so powerful, you know. Like I said, when you think of what a little bit of rainwater can do for the earth, imagine what it can do for us, right? Okay, my next one is snow water. I know that there's a lot of people in a lot of areas that don't get snow at all. Somebody can, you know, drive up and get a little bit of snow water. Great. It's great. Snow helps with, or snow water, because you obviously want it to melt. I've done it just with snow, because eventually it's going to melt. But it's great for spells and rituals that focus on purity, endings, and change. And if you want, unlike rainwater where you want something to gain power, if you want something that to slowly, a spell that you're doing that you want to slowly work over time, snow water works well for that. Slowly works over time. So that's what those one's good for. dew water. You know, that beautiful morning dew. You end up with a little bit of dew on the leaves. Just shake it in a glass. You get, or in a, you know, I'll get a mason jar, take it out there, shake a bunch of leaves inside, collect some of that dew water. Dew water is beautiful for love and fertility spells, as well as delicate magic. And then I personally don't work with the Fae, but to my understanding, it's great for working with the Fae. They like the dew water. Okay, great for them. I used to work with the Fae all the time until they really started messing with things, and I was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't mess with y'all no more. Freaking psycho little things. We're not going to say bad things about them because I don't want them to get mad at me. Anyway, so water magic is, you have some saved. That's awesome. Hello, Jennifer. A little late, but don't worry about it. You are good to go. Oh, saved. I'm sorry. Things are popping up on my screen. Anyway, water magic is simply changing energy using the elemental water and all that it represents. So depending on where you get the water from and where it represent. Oh my God, little tongue-tied this right now. Depending on where you collect the water from can depend on its memory or what it can do for you, what it represents, what its attributes are, right? And some of those are the ones that I shared above. Fae was my first thought for dew water. See, I mean, obviously it makes sense. Can't wait to see you soon. Oh, you must be talking to Ronette. Yeah, whatever. I don't even want to hear about this one. What sucks is I'm in California also, but the problem is I'm like 10 hours away. But I'm all the way at the top of California. Anyway, I'm happy for you guys. That's awesome. So next I want to go over with a couple of spells because that's one thing that I'm really enjoying about this little series is I'm also sharing spells. So I'm going to give you a minute and get those notepads out and I'll dive in. All right, what's one of the things that we can do with water? Scrying. One of my favorite things to do with water, especially with that little bird bath out there. I went out there at, I don't know, it was probably about 11:30 last night. I laid in bed for a little bit, and then I got up and I went out there and did a little bit of scrying under the beautiful big full moon. It was awesome. Camping later in the month, your eyes. That is so awesome. Oh, you're going to have so much fun. That's awesome. Yeah, I would absolutely love to, but I kind of can't get away right now. I'm stuck at work. Like my husband and sons are over in Brookings for 2 more days. They're gone like a total of 4 days, and I couldn't even get 4 days out. We are so short-staffed. Me trying to get time off of work is like pulling teeth. I had a hard time just getting out an hour early to get to the eye doctor today. So, yeah, sad, but that's okay. I do have my vacation scheduled towards the end of the year, and I'll go do something that. Love the little spells. I'm glad you do. I love sharing them. They're just awesome. Anyway, okay, scrying. So scrying is an ancient, I kid you not, absolutely ancient divination practice where you connect with your intuition and make the unseen seen by gazing into a reflective surface. Most commonly used are a dark bowl of water or a small puddle on the ground. I have done that too. And I did write it in here. I also use a bird bath when I do this outside. I have a little bird bath. I love to use it. It works great. And I like it too because it's also on a stand. It's not like one of those cement, preformed bird baths. It's literally just a plant stand. It's a vintage one, so it's a metal plant stand looking thing, but it's got this metal round, and I kid you not, it's like this big around, probably a 1.5 foot round, metal dish that's about 3 inches high that inserts inside of it. So I found it at an old gardening center, like a thrift vintage area, and yeah, I had to have it. Anyway, you can scry with other substances such as fire, crystal ball, a mirror, which is very common. Fire scrying is common also. Some people use crystal balls for scrying, some people don't. That one can be debatable, depending on who you're talking to. I like the ancient mirrors before they use glass. I know, right? Yeah, me too. But when working with water magic, you want to choose something associated with the water, like the options that I shared earlier. So depending on what you're wanting to go over, the different waters can help you with information in those areas. I hope that just made sense, because it sounded beautiful in my head, but it did not sound so good coming out of my mouth right now. Anyway, for water scrying, you want to find your ritual space. This can be done outside at night with only the moon as your light, or a dark room with only 1 or 2 candles lit. Okay? Gather your items, your bowl and water, or the candles if you're in a room. And as I walk you through scrying, I'm going to use the just bowl of water method. Okay? I'm just going to kind of keep it that way. Received a crystal ball for Christmas, really want to connect to it. That is awesome. Crystal balls are amazing. I have mine and I love it. And I'm going to give you which you probably already know this, but my first bit of advice is cover it. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, because of spirits. No, because if the light shines on it the wrong way, you're going to catch your house on fire. So cover that thing. Mine is, that around that way a little bit at my altar, but there is a lot of sunlight that comes in, and so I do have it covered because I'm not taking any chances. Even though I've never seen the sun hit those shelves, there can be one fluke day where the sun just decides to come in the wrong way. I'm not taking any chances. Or a car parks in front and reflects it just the right way. No chances taken for me on this one. Anyway, back to scry. Silver bowls. That's beautiful. Yep, absolutely. It was covered immediately. Good girl. Yeah, there are a lot of different reasons to cover it. As for spirits coming through, yes, I agree. It can absolutely happen. What did we talk about? It's a surface. Mirrors, glass, water, they're gateways. So, yes, absolutely, spirits can come through too. Cover them up. Anyway, back to scrying. So once your space is ready, whether you're doing it outside or you're doing it inside, like I was saying, I'm going to kind of go over the example of doing it inside with just a couple of candles lit. You want to enter yourself into like a trance state, whether you use meditating, energy work, drumming, chanting, breath work, or any other practice that you use to drop into your subconscious mind. So when I say trance state, that's what I mean. You want to get into your subconscious mind. Get out of that conscious and dig back and dig deep. Okay? Right? There you go. No chances taken. Once you feel like that you're in an altered state of mind. Now I know that part can be tricky. I have a hard time with it myself. You're trying to dig in and get to that subconscious. So you're pretty much half asleep, but now I want you to be awake enough, right, to be able to follow the remainder of the steps. That sounds good. Have a wonderful evening, Ellen. We'll catch up with you. It would be the day it's not covered. That's exactly it. Exactly. So yes, like I said, I do want you to get into that subconscious portion, that altered state of consciousness. And then when you're there, I want you to pay attention that you're there, right? And then I want you to relax your eyes and gaze into your bowl of water. And when I say gaze, I mean not blankly stare at it. Focus on it, but focus with your eyes relaxed. So in other words, you want to focus, but be relaxed at the same time. Let your pupils soften, if you can. It's actually a technique that we use reading auras. Is you look at the person or just past the person, just over their shoulder, and let your eyes relax and unfocus a bit. Okay? Nice deep breaths. Let your whole body soften and ask your question silently. For example, a question could be like, what's holding me back in whatever situation? Or another one would be like, what do I need to know about whatever situation? Right? Gaze into the bowl and let yourself see what you see. Look loosely. Very good. That's probably way better than I could have described it. Sometimes I get too wordy. Loosely is a very good way to describe that. But you definitely want to allow yourself to see whatever it is you're seeing. Little shapes, little figures, movements, whatever. Pay attention to it, okay? Anything and everything that you do see, pay attention to it, okay? It might take a little while for images to come up, but if you stay, we're going to use Angie's term, loosely focused and present, they will appear. Allow any images, words, even sensations to flow rather than holding on to them tightly. Okay, pay attention to all of that. And when you feel like you're done, you're done. Literally, it's that simple when it comes to that. Oh, there we go. Then you're gonna write it down. Whatever you saw, you felt, even heard, okay? Utilize all of your senses. If you smelled something, if you saw something, if you tasted something, you heard something or you felt something, write it down. Anytime you're doing any type of scrying or meditation work or anything, always use all of your senses. And to be honest with you, that's another live I should probably do about how to pay attention to your senses so that you could actually learn to use them when you're doing this type of work. Because it's very important. Because you're going to write it all down, and it will help you come up with the answer to the question that you asked. All right. Remember, the subconscious mind works with symbolism. So that's why we tell you to go there. And that's why we tell you to write it down. So don't discount anything at all. That whether you see, felt, hear, smell, whatever, don't discount it. Even if you're not quite sure what it meant. You know, you might be like, what the why did Why did a straw hat show up? I don't know. Write it down anyway. Okay? And I just threw a straw hat out there. I don't know why. Just did. Scrying is really surprisingly relaxing, and I enjoy it. It's to me, it's really fun. I'm not just meditating to meditate. I'm meditating. I'm doing it for scrying. I'm doing it for divination. So I enjoy it. Yes, journals are always nice to keep in hand. Always, always, always. Goodness gracious, it's starting to get really warm in here, and I think I'm going to start stripping on y'all. Cleansing spell. Okay, give me 1 minute, please. Okay. I apologize. I am not a young lady, and I was having a hot flash, and I needed to cool down. Matter of fact, I'm going to also open the door. I need cool air. Okay. Much better. I know I have to dress in layers because I'm, shirts on, shirts off, shirts on, shirts off all day long. And it doesn't matter what time of year it is. It could be freaking dead of winter, frozen outside. And I could be overheating. It's the way it is. So the next one I have for you is cleansing spell. And this is really, really a simple spell that helps us to use the element of water to release, and is best worked during the waning and dark moons. Okay? And it's really easy. You need 2 things. A large glass of water and, 3 things. A large glass of water, a piece of paper, and a pen. That's it. 4 things. Right? It's easy. So to start with this crone flash, is that what it is? Oh, cool. Twinsies. I love it. So to start, you're going to choose what you're focusing on releasing. This is a releasing cleansing type of cleansing spell. Okay? You're going to focus on what you're releasing. It could be blocks to self-love. I'm giving examples here. Fear of being seen. A harmful way of speaking to yourself. We know we all do that. We're harder on ourselves than we are on anybody else. You just open the window. It's seriously that time of year anyway. God. Anyway, I think my last little example was self-judgment, right? We are mean to ourselves before we're mean to anybody else. We are more judgmental on ourselves than we are to anybody else. Well, you know what? Sometimes we need to clean that shit out because we need it too. So that's what this is for. So once you've decided what you're ready to release, and you're absolutely welcome, and this is just a suggestion, to journal it out so that you have clear instructions, right? Get some sleep, Miss Almost 2 in the morning over there. Thank you for joining us, Carol. Have a great night. Bye. So if you're going to do it for journaling, you would start with making a list of all the limiting beliefs or stories that you hold associated with whatever the block is. Okay, so journaling helps to work it out so that you can kind of get down to just your few questions. It's like, I keep thinking this all day long and I don't get it and I don't know why. Well, why do I keep thinking about this? Well, because these 20 things over here keep reminding me of this. So that's why I say journal it out. Okay? Example, let's say you're working with clearing fear of being seen. Your list might hold beliefs like, gotta turn the page. I'm not good enough. If people saw who I really was, they wouldn't love me. I'm too weird. I know a lot of us have that thought, right? Oh, sorry. Here's another one. I have ooh shiny disorder. I see something and I get stuck on it. So I was trying to read the comments and I lost track of where I was. I call it ooh shiny, or what some of us call it squirrel syndrome. Yeah, I have that. I know I do. Anyway, keep letting the beliefs flow. Okay, whatever it is that you're constantly hearing or thinking, write it all down, but just let them all flow. Get them all down, because that's going to help. To be honest with you, it really is going to help. And I do tend to fill up a whole page when I do this spell. And I like to think that I've got some really nice writing, but when I'm doing this, half the time, even my writing's not legible, because I'm not even thinking. Just the words are coming out and onto that paper. It's ugly writing. Anyway, so once you have your list, it's time to work the spell, right? Ground yourself, always ground yourself. Cast your circle, pick up your list, and you're going to say the first belief out loud, right? Starting with, I clear the belief that blank from my body. I'm going to use this one. I clear the belief that I'm not good enough from my body. Okay? I clear the belief that if people saw who I really was, they wouldn't love me from my body. Okay? So those are they help. Those words help. They really do help. Between each one, take a big sip of water. You're cleansing yourself internally, okay? Between each one, you take a sip of water. Don't worry about gulping it, nothing like that. You're just going to take a nice sip of water, okay? Pause and notice how you're feeling and visualizing the water moving through your body. You are internally cleansing. Cleansing this belief from your system on every level, okay? Physically and mentally. Every level. Emotionally, physically, mentally. You could throw out all of the different levels out there. You're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. Repeat this for every belief on your list, taking your time to really feel the beliefs move out of your body. It's literally a simple spell. I came up with doing this one when I was trying to do the shower releasing, like washing it all off. But you know what? It wasn't washing, it was washing away the negative energies and helping to get rid of the way other people were making me feel, but it wasn't helping me get rid of the way I was making myself feel. So I needed to do something that was going to help me get rid of it internally. So that's what that's for. It's to help you get rid of it internally. Water's amazing, is it not? I feel like I could sound like a Muppet there for a minute, but I just love it. It's great stuff. Okay, what's my next one? Moon gazing. Personally, it is another favorite. I have a lot of favorite practices, though. There's just so many of them, I can't help it. I call them all my favorites. This is best done when the moon is full or about full. So what? Day before, day after, right? And all you need is you and the moon. Easy. Can't help it that. Well, and the creativeness, but that's you, right? It is very simple. Step outside, sit or stand under the moon, gaze up at her absolute beauty, and beam your heart full of love right at the moon. Just give her that love and feel her filling you up with her lunar energy. Absorb it. Just take it in. Okay? Now you could actually take it further if you'd like. You know, this is entirely up to you. Some days I just want to step outside and I just want to absorb her energy. And just, that's it. I'll be outside 5 minutes. And I'm like, thank you very much. I just needed that little bit. I appreciate it. Yes, moonbathing. Perfect. But if you're feeling that you need to do or would like to do a bit more, you can try drawing down the moon, opening your arms and visualizing your crown opening up to receive the energy, you know, this way instead of towards your heart. Receive it through your crown. Okay? Sing to the moon. That's always fun. I love going out and dancing and singing for the moon. Sorry. Writing poems to the moon and reading them to her. Why not? Why not? She's beautiful. She loves us. Why not? I love to moonbathe. My husband does it with me also. He likes to, we just recently started doing it, and he was the one who set it up. He set up the lawn chairs in the backyard, and he'll put a candle out there just so we can see where we're walking, because we turn off the back porch light, and there's a couple steps. You got to be able to see something. But we'll go and we'll sit in the chairs, and they kind of lean back a little bit. So we'll sit in the chairs. They lean back just right so that you could actually, you're facing the moon almost. And we just lay there side by side and just moonbathe. That is exactly what it is. That's what we do. Anyway, I was at writing poems to the moon and reading them to her. Ask her questions and sitting in meditation under her light to receive answers. She's going to talk to you. Of course she is. There's no right or wrong way to, well, moon gaze, but I like moon bathe better. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to have to change that in my other notes. I like moon bathing so much better. Anyway, let your intuition and your creativity totally take over on this one. It just, so many different things that you can do. Ellen and I turn the moon? How do you turn the moon? I think I have an idea what you're talking about, but I might have to message you to explain to me later. Anyway, okay, here is the most common thing. Charge your water under the moon, right? We have water. We're talking about the moon already, so what are we going to do with our water? We're going to charge it under the moon. Powerful form of magic is charging your water under the full moon and then using it later. And it's in its simplest form. In its simplest form, you drink the water. You're cleansing yourself internally. Water. Oh my God. Who knew? I'm not like mocking anybody. I'm definitely not. I mean, I guess I am kind of mocking myself, but I'm just kind of doing it because it's like a reminder, and it's more so reminds myself that some of the best magic that we can do is the simplest magic, and using the elements within our magic is ridiculously powerful. And we have a lot of people that don't get that. We don't need a million things at our altar. We don't need every stone under the sun. We don't need, ooh, very cool. I like that with the big wheeler energy. Oh, sweet. I love that. Charged a bottle of water and gonna use it for my cleansing spa. I love that. That's so cool. Anyway, so I just want to remind everybody, using the elements and performing magic in its simplest form is extremely powerful. We don't need all these trinkets and pieces and tools. And oh my God. So that reminds me, I was watching a video from a fellow practitioner, and he called it Fisher Price magic. And I was like, oh my God. You know, yes, we like to have, you know, all of the bowls and the candles and the stones and all of the trinkets and the pieces and everything, but we don't need all of that. We have everything we need to do magic that nature gave us in all the 4 elements. And of course, we're number 5 as it is, right? So why would we not do that, right? And simple magic. But the fact that he called it Fisher Price magic, I was like, oh my God, that's exactly what it is. Anyway, okay, I know I do that a lot. Oh, one of the other beautiful things that you can do with charged water under the moon is water your plants. I love to water my plants with full moon water, especially when they're big moon waters. My plants, oh my God, they stand up like little soldiers. They love it. I can water them with all kinds of water all the time, and it doesn't matter. But when I give them that full moon water, or when I give them a super moon water, they are happy as can be. And like you, Angie, I have been doing a lot more, or adding more simplicity to my magic. A lot more simplicity. And starting to find that it's working faster. That's me personally. Everybody's different. Of course, you can also charge your stones in that water. And there's different stones that we can do. You could also add a crystal to your glass of water that's related to your intention for extra power. Here are some suggestions. Right, back in the day, they didn't have all that stuff. Charge my water propagated plants out under the next full moon. Ooh. Oh, they're going to love it. That's how I do my plants too. I just water propagate them. They go in my beta fish tank for a little bit so can help, give them the plants the nutrients that they need, especially if they're babies. And then they just go into plain water and we go from there. Anyway, so you can use rose quartz, of course, for love, green aventurine for abundance, amethyst for clear sight and intuition, citrine for personal power, obsidian for protection, carnelian for creativity, and clear quartz is always an amazing amplifier for any intention. Or you could use it. You could use that by itself or with any other crystal. Just once again, please pay attention to what crystals you put in water. Okay, some become toxic, and some just flat out dissolve, and still end up being toxic. Anyway, another thing that you can do, and this goes into like your ritual baths. These two kind of go hand in hand together. I've got spend time in bodies of water or take a ritual bath. So if you're lucky enough to live near a body of water, going to that body of water, whether it's a lake, river, ocean, and immerse yourself in it for cleansing and purification. It's one of the most powerful and most simple forms of magic that there is. Turn a simple dip into magic by using your presence, your breath, and intention to receive the medicine of the water. Right? I have been thinking about getting a betta fish. Maybe I need to think harder on that. I love having my betta fish. Whenever, even if I've got a plant that's I don't know, just starting to look sickly and not doing so well, I'll get it out of its container. If it's in a water container, I don't, I'll still rinse it off, but not so much. If it's in a dirt container, I get all the dirt off of the roots and I just put it right into the tank with him. And next thing you know, within a couple of weeks, it's looking beautiful and healthy again. He is my plant rehabilitator. And if I start off little, propagated pieces or starts or, like my spider plants, the little spider babies that pop off, I literally just drop them right in his tank. And next thing you know, I know that you just put those in water and they get roots. And I've done that. But when I stick them in the tank with him, they've got, you're talking twice as fast, twice as large in half the time. It's just amazing what a fish, especially a small fish like that, can do. They're really helpful. And they're so easy to take care of anyway. So then I'm going to go into ritual baths. So if you can't get to a body of water, what do? Well, take a ritual bath. I love new moon ocean bathing. So I do miss that about living down that way. I used to always be in the ocean at night because it's so much warmer. Up here where I'm at, it's cold. And I'm sorry, but this girl's not that big of a fan of freezing her girls off. It's cold. I'll put my feet in it, but then that's about it. Water magic in action. Yep. Ocean bathing when I was in Southern California was amazing. Ocean bathing up here in Northern California, getting into Oregon, not so fun. Just saying. Anyway, so if you can't get into a body of water, get into your tub of water. Ritual bath is a beautiful way to immerse yourself in the power of water. What? I gotta take that out of there. That doesn't belong in there. There's many different herbs that you could add to your bath, salts you could add to your bath, oils you could add to your bath. There's so many different things. It doesn't matter. Your creativity is really not limited at all. But if the only thing that you bring to this bath is your presence, your breath, and your intention, that's all the magic you need. Everything else, it's just an extra amplifier. I would attract a great white. That's funny. I would hope not. Okay, and then the last thing I have on here is use water to collect bad energies. And yeah, it'll do that for you. Okay? Water can be used to collect energies. Place a glass or a bowl of water near your bed or the busiest part of your house. Whether it be the kitchen, the living room, the bathroom, it don't matter. It's the busiest part of your house. Set a bowl or a glass of water there. If you're really, really, really having a hard time sleeping, like you're constantly getting those bad or negative dreams, definitely put it by your bedside if you can. If you don't have a nightstand, sometimes putting it under your bed helps, but I try not to do that. My bed's up off the ground, but then Little Miss will end up drinking it, or Loki. One of them will get a hold of it. Anyway, if there are bad energies floating around, the water is going to pull it in. After a day or two, unless it's really mucky overnight, because that can happen also, you could throw it outside, preferably away from your home, as far away as you could get it, or flush it. Simply flush it. Get it down a drain. If you can't, you don't want to actually flush it. If you don't want to flush it, just get it down a drain somewhere. Okay? Yes. Get rid of those bad energies. I've never done it when I was sick, and why did I not think of that? Because those are bad energies. Why did I not think of that? I mean, I guess I do, but I put a glass of water there so that I could drink it, or a bottled water. But you don't want to put a bottled water on the side of your bed. if you're trying to pull bad energies, because it's closed, so it's not going to get in. So that's why I say glass or a bowl. You want that openness. But thank you, Angie. Why I don't do it to help get rid of things when I'm sick? I don't know. We just don't think of that. We get stuck in our own little box. That's what the way I like to call it. Do I ever add sea salt? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do add sea salt. It just depends on how I'm feeling the house is feeling. And will my fish tanks absorb bad energies? So, surprisingly, I have 2 fish tanks in this house. And no, they have not. The beta tank is completely open tank on the top. And his tank stays clear. The only reason it gets mucky is if I haven't changed out his water in over a month. And that's because the only reason it gets mucky is because of either the plants that are in there or the food. So, and then I have another fish tank on the other side of the house, and that's my big tank. It's a 180-gallon tank, and it's got a bunch of fish inside of it. And it doesn't collect bad energies. It gets hit. It's normal algae buildup, but between the snails and the Plecostomus, they clear it up and take care of it. I think the reason that they don't collect those bad energies is because of the fish that are in those tanks. Animals in general are. They ward off those energies, right? That's the way I look at it. It doesn't matter what kind of animal you have at home. Every now and then you see them just staring off into space somewhere and there's nothing there. Well, they're seeing something we're not. I don't care if it's your dog, your cat. I notice the fish do it every now and then. All of them will be in a corner looking at something. I'm like, what the hell? My tortoise, my geckos used to do it. So I think they see those energies, and those energies don't want anything to do with our animals. Our animals are too pure for that shit. So, to your question, will my fish tanks absorb the bad energy? No, I don't think so. That is what I have for water and its magical uses. Any other questions before I let everybody go? And enjoy the rest of their evening, because now it's almost 7 o'clock. I should be laying in bed by now, but I'm not. No, I'm kidding. Usually this is when I do start relaxing. That's why I don't normally do lives this late, but that's okay. I'm totally good with it. I really wanted to do this one so bad. Well, kind of waiting to see if we have any questions. It's time for a fish or a snake, maybe both. Maybe. Yeah. It's the fish. It's gotta be. Well, Angie, I think you just might be making a trip to the trip to the pet place, pet shop, whatever, and getting both a fish and a snake. Well, I mean, I do call my beta tank my plant rehab station. That was my excuse for getting the tank and the fish, just so you know. It's my plant rehab station. And FYI, you don't want to do a plant rehab with any type of cichlid. That's like your cichlid fish. That's like, your Oscars. I've got, my one tank is full of convicts. So no cichlids. They'll eat the plants. So if you're using it for plant rehab, that's why I like the betas. They do amazing. I liked the excuse. It worked for me. Gotta have something. Reason to get something, right? Whatever. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. Oh, you are very, very welcome, Jennifer, Ronette, Angie, all of you. You are all so... Oh, right? Yeah. I didn't know at first either. I lost a few plants. So, yeah. So, plant rehabs. Betas, plecostomus do fine, but they don't, they give out enough nutrients, but not as much as the betas do. I've done this with lots of different fish. And knife fish are actually pretty cool. And I like them because they look like little eels. So, yeah, I had a albino knife fish at one time, and it reminded me of Falcor. I loved that little fish. He was so cool. But he got old and died. He was like, I don't know, 8 inches. He was so cool. But they help also. They're really good for plant rehab stations. Anyway, all right. You guys are all absolutely amazing. On that note, I'm going to let everybody go and have an absolutely wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Love you guys, all of you. Many blessings.